Okay, so this is how it's going to work. Alright, can I grab your leash real quick? Oh, just here. Thanks you. I got it. Look at chicken. Okay.
She absolutely loves it.
Yeah. So the way you do this is we're going to put the chicken over there and I'm going to walk, and then when she tries to get it, I use my leash and I go leave it. The key here is when she's at the end of the leash, she can't get it. Okay? And you're only going to reward her with this when she looks at you. There is nothing else. That's it. Don't make it complicated. So when she looks my way, meaning you're here and she's at the end, she's looking at you. Now, at the moment, I want her to look at me, not you. So I'm blocking her from getting it. That wasn't looking at me, that was just trying to get out the collar.
The thing is that she loves chicken.
I know. Doesn't matter. Just pretend that's chicken that's poisoned. Yep. And then I can play. Yep. So it's food and a party. And then we're going to go the opposite way. So she already knows there's chicken, but we're going to pretend it's like poison. So this is me on a walk. I notice that she's curious. She sees it. She tries to go over to it. And I'm going to stop her with the leash. So just ignore her. And then she goes, oh, chicken. Leave it. So she's trying to get it. Because that's the thing, right? When she wants something that she can't have, she's going to try and get it. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Pick it up. I don't want her to get it. That's the point. That's the exercise. So the exercise is what I would do if I was you. Is let's say she's in her pen. Okay? You're going to grab a bit of chicken, you're going to grab a little bit of bacon, anything that you know she wants. You can't do this with Balti stealing it though, don't do that. You come and you put it outside. Right? You get her. This is not when you want her to toilet, right? This is separate. She's on her leash, right? You're coming out. And she's like, la la la, oh, it's there. Right, and then she wants to go and get it. As she tries, like she's putting on the leash, your job is to make sure when she's at the end of the leash, you still have some distance between what she wants that she can't have.
Like we did with Balti at He learned, didn't he?
That's right. So she's going to try and get it, but what we do then, so you just stand there. When she stops trying to get it and she looks at you and go, Mum, help, you're going to say, yep, and you're going to reward her with something else. Because think about it. If you say you can't have that, and she stops wanting to try and get it, you need to pay her for it. Because then she goes, so when Mum says leave it, I can't have it. No matter how much I want to. But it's going to take you a couple of weeks to practice. Okay? We don't feed chicken when we want her not to have chicken.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So people will say to, like a lot of dog trainers will say, okay, we're going to throw you a piece of bacon, but you've got to give her bacon. And I say, well, how does that work if she wants a cat? Do you give her a kitten? No, you don't. You give her something different. What we give her, we're giving her biscuits. We know she loves chicken more, right? But we don't just give her biscuits. We give her biscuits and a party. And she goes, right, so when I leave what Mum tells me to leave, I might get something better. Not all the time, but in the beginning all the time. And then as she gets good at it, not all the time.
So reward it if she looks at you and then...
Because then what happens is this. When you see she gets curious and she looks at something that you don't want her to have, right? Remember we said leave it as for she doesn't have it in her mouth. Leave it as she's exploring and she goes, ooh, I'm curious, and she wants to go over there, and you say leave it, she's going to do this. Okay, and she's going to look at you. What do you want me to do? That's what we want. Okay, that's your leave it exercise. If you can't be good at that one, I can't give you the next exercise. And every time she gets this, because maybe you weren't ready, or maybe you didn't realise you were close enough, like too close and she got it, your dog's died. Which means you have to do the exercise twice as long. So this is one of those exercises that if you have 3 mistakes, you're going to struggle for the rest of your life. Okay, so we want to make sure we don't make those mistakes. The only mistakes you can make is her accidentally getting it. So your job is to make sure you can see the chicken. So if you put down this big piece, I don't care, as long as you can see it. And remember, and if I was you, for the first couple of times, if you're not very good at distance, there's some people that want, I wasn't, then I go, okay, I'm going to put it over there, which means I have to stop here. So you can make a couple of, you can put down some things to help you. She doesn't have to know. That makes sense?
What sort of things would you put down?
So I want you to think about saying something like, okay, if I put a piece of chicken near the bowl, I need to stop near my chair, not past this line. Okay? If you do it in the front, for example, you can say, okay, I'm going to put a piece right near the budgies, but I need to stop at the front door. So it gives you plan. And when I say that, right, you got to think about this smartly in terms of, it doesn't help you stop, and she never even sees it. Okay. Some people will use a crayon or a chalk, and they'll just draw a little line for themselves. Dogs don't see that. You don't have to put anything big down like your shoe or anything like that. So if you take her leash and you measure, like you put the end of the leash at the chicken.
You can mark the payment with a marker.
If you want, but this is for you, right? Because I want you to practice this every second day. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Okay, so not every day. And every time you do it at a different place. So one time you do it here, next time you do it there, next time you do it there, and then once in the kitchen and twice in the front. Something. So you need to be able to mark it for yourself. So you have to do some preparation first. Yep. So you're gonna go, I'm gonna put the chicken here, or the beef, or the whatever it is. Take her leash, put the leash down, right? Measure it, and then one more time, right? And then I want you to make a little star for yourself. Does that make sense? So 2 leash labels is where I want you to. So you go like this, and you go, okay, I need to about stop there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give you a way that you can measure, because you're not going to do the same spot every time.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And here's the catch. That's one spot. You need to do 2. So the opposite side as well. You understand? Alright. Sure. Go grab her notebook, and I want you to draw it for me so I can see. And if you don't understand it, we're going to do it together. Good girl. You're doing so good. Your mama's doing great.